It's Coop backstage for Audacy, our CMA Fest coverage brought to you by Simple Green with Mitchell Tenpenny. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Good to see you. You too.
By the way, before the interview, I did DM Mitchell, and I was like, bring your shoe game, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. So, okay. I brought my, these are Adidas, you know, the South Park tallies.
Yeah.
And when the light hits them, which it was cool, I haven't worn them yet, tally gets nice and elevated.
Elevated? All right, okay.
His eyes get nice and red. Yeah.
I dig it, man.
Those are fire too,
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Let's jump into, this is the heavy. So 20 tracks on this thing, and you co-wrote all 20 of these songs. Now, I also went through and looked, and I'm like, man, there's more than 20 co-writers, different people on these songs as well. And so I want to know how that process works. I mean, when you're going into a writing session, are you going, all right, this stuff that we do today is slated for this album? Or do you hold it all and then go back and go, okay, what do we like? What makes it?
Man, there's no like, I feel like it's always, I'm in a box if I go in like, oh, we're writing for this today. It's impossible to write. I just try to go and write the best song that we can get that day, whatever inspiration or whatever happens. And then you got a pile of them, and then you pick when it's time to make a record. For me, it's especially when you're in a room with other people and you're co-writing, like it's just such a, you know, you feel restricted, and you shouldn't feel restricted writing a song. So I've tried my best to go in and just whatever happens organically, that's it. And then I listen back to them like, is this something that I would see myself doing for the rest of my life? You know, and that's honestly, that's the easiest way for me to do it, because I don't get great stuff when I try to force it, or I don't get anything good at all when I try to force it. When
I talk to people, I say, when you look up artist, Mitchell Tenpenny's picture should be there, because you genuinely care. Like, he's got a home studio. He's a nerd when it comes to all this kind of stuff. Seriously, you are.
I am a gear nerd.
So you also co-produced this album with Jordan Schmidt, who's also a co-writer on a lot of these songs. Do you find yourself being really, really critical of every little, like, I imagine you sitting there with headphones on and going, I don't like that one little piece of sound.
Yeah, what I love working with Jordan is we kind of let each other do our thing. Like in the studio with the musicians, I get to kind of do my thing, and then Jordan goes back home and does his magic. And then because of technology, we can, you know, from my studio to his, we can do things back and forth. But I'm always like over analyzing, picking. I have my notes, then I'll go back in with him, and then we'll edit all this stuff. Then I got to live with it. It's at some point you just got to say you're done. I know that's the hardest part, is to say you're done, because you can always do something else. But it's, for me, I definitely, I mean, I show you my notes. I've got notes on every one we just cut 5 new songs, and every one of those, you know, I've got my notes on that we've gone back and fixed. And it's just little nerd stuff that probably no one would notice the difference of. But to me, it's like, if it's going to be there forever, I want to make sure that it doesn't bug me forever.
Well, that's art, man. And that's why I say that about you. So when you're given these notes, ultimately, at what point does Jordan or whoever it is that you're working with, should they try to calm you down and go, dude, it's really good, stop? Like,
no, that's what I said. That's why I love Jordan. We work really well together, and normally our notes are always, we're kind of identical.
Okay.
Because he'll want to just get something done and send it off for a minute and let his ears like rest too. And so usually when we come back, we're both like, yeah, I was going to say that anyway. It's never been, I mean, up to this point, we work mutually, you know, pretty great together. And that's why I love working with him. So, but I'm sure as I get older, I get a little bit more picky. I'm sure he's finally going to be like, all right, dude,
stop it.
I got it. Yeah.
Let's talk about We Got History, which is such a great song. It's a very, very catchy song. There's a line in it actually that I love, and it's in the beginning. It's, I won't know you when you're turning 64.
Yeah.
But no one knew you better when you were 25. Such a great line. And I know that there were a couple of co-writers on this. Can you tell me do you remember that moment and where that line came from?
Yeah. So Devin Dawson had the title, We Don't Have a Future. He was like, something, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, you know, something, well, y'all don't have a future anymore, but you got a history. And I was like, that's perfect. Let's just write that in. And we honestly wrote it to the hook and then phrased it the way it rhymed. But I do remember that line. I was just, I always think back of like those were the most important people in your life at that moment in time. Yeah. Like any ex, like, it doesn't matter. Like at that moment in time, they were everything to you. That's who you told everything to and everything. So like that number thing, I always try to do numbers and play on words. And it just kind of popped up, one of those things. And I said it out loud, and Devin was like, oh, yes, of course. And Jordan it's just one of those where it all just worked out. And to me, it just makes me feel that emotion, because that's what I'm trying to say in that song. It's, you know, we don't have a future anymore, but we do have a history. And there's nothing more than saying, no one knew you better at 25, but I will not even know who you are years down the road.
Such a great
So I was
line.
trying to find a way to say that in, numbers.
Really good line.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the music video, because I love a good music video that like I can tell effort was put into and it tells a story, and you're really good at that. All of your videos have this story that goes on, and you're an astronaut in this one. Is this because you have your hands on all your stuff? Did you come up with this idea? How did this come about?
No, this was a treatment written and sent to us. I just, I'm intrigued with space. I love aliens. I love UFOs. So it just kind of fit the whole concept of the record. And I like to do stuff too that's not always like hear truck, see truck.
Yeah.
Like something a little different. So when I got the concept and the treatment to do something that had to do with space and stuff, I was all in. That suit though, I'll tell you. So we got these authentic like movie suits.
Yeah.
Apparently they're all very small in the movies because I barely got into that suit. I'm like walking in this big old, I look like the Michelin Man, but orange. It was a fun time though. We got to do it and see all these old consoles from like real spaceships. And
That's awesome.
It's pretty gnarly, man. Pretty wild. It's crazy.
Let's talk about, but if you don't know, Mitchell Tenpenny made history by having 2 number ones 3 weeks apart.
Oh man.
Never been done before. That had to be amazing for you. How did you celebrate that?
Yeah, man. I mean, just honestly by getting to work, that just makes me nervous. We got to keep going. And a lot of that's timing and lucked out and just everyone the team working their absolute butt off to get, the ring the bell on both of those. So I'll take it. That's amazing. I'm super honored by that, but I know the stars line up and timing's a big portion of it. But honestly, all it did for me was made me want to do it again. I'm just like, I want to keep doing this for the rest of my life. And when you get them, it's the pressure to get another. So we're back in the studio. We're working to try to get a history up there and ring that bell as well.
I have no doubt you'll get more.
Oh, thanks.
So this is The Heavy. One of my favorite songs on it is More Than Whiskey Does.
Thank you, man.
As I'm listening to it, it's such a great song. It has a couple F-bombs in it.
Yeah.
Great song. It's in the chorus, so it's just over and over again. You're just hearing these F-bombs. I want to know, and I've had this question forever because I don't know, does everyone know the song My Neck, My Back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Look at Sabrina's face right now. Okay. So here's the thing.
Sabrina's favorite song.
Someone had to sit down, seriously put paper to pen and go, absolutely, this is a song. Let's turn this in.
Yeah. And it worked for them.
It did. Great song. I love it. Is there a moment when you're writing and you write that word down and you go, should we put this in there? Or is it like, this is part of it?
Anytime we say the F word, yes. Because, you don't want to intentionally offend somebody that might not want to cuss, but at the same time, that's not how I would not say that you messed me up at a bar. I would say you effed me up at a bar. And I like, when it gets down to it, I think what's worked for us is the honesty. It's telling it like we would say it if we were having a real conversation. And I do not have the best vocabulary in the world. So
keeping it real.
And as a songwriter, you're trying to evoke an emotion. There's a different emotion that the F word says than the M word says. So the M word messed.
Yeah.
So it's like to me, you have to. I want to say exactly what the feeling is, and that sometimes it's an F-bomb.
Last thing, I'm gonna pull up a picture on my phone. We're gonna have I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm gonna have John zoom in, okay? Because this is the Instagram picture.
Gosh,
okay,
that's amazing, yeah.
And I'm gonna show it here. We'll let him zoom in. So this is, you posted this on Instagram, and it's you, and then in the background it's your guitarist, right? And there's a mermaid. Tell me what is happening. My
guitarist jumped into that. So we went to this awesome dive bar that has mermaids swimming in it after a show one night. And my guitarist decided, we were all betting him and daring him. And he ended up talking to the owner and ended up surprising us and hopping into the fish tank. And it was, the best time in the world for us. We had the best laugh. Yeah, come on, look at it. It's great.
Mitchell Tenpenny, thank you so much, man.
Guys. Appreciate it.